Poisson pas cachère. Where we're going to go, why we need to know more about these details, we're going to see it soon. But just let's take first the information. Let's see.
Gemara clarifies this ruling. Rabbi Ba said in the name of Rabbi Yehuda that we should say that there are non-kosher fish intermediate with the lachluchta. It's true only in a place such as a pond or a small lake where the water does not flow. But in a place such as a river or a stream where the water flows, kosher fish do not swim together with non-kosher fish. And hence there is no concern that they will be mixed with each other in the same catch.
Donc, première chose intéressante, il dit quand il s'agit de courants d'eau vifs, les poissons pas cachères ne mangent pas des poissons cachères. C'est ça. Donc, il dit, il y a un détail comme ça. Comment on sait, comment on s'organise? On voit aussi quelle est l'eau dans laquelle, ou le courant d'eau dans lequel on se trouve. We have to check also basically what kind of breathers we have. And based on that, we can understand what kind of fish we have inside. Why are we going to see? Yes.
The Gemara notes that even in flowing water, the segregation between kosher and non-kosher fish is not absolute. Rabbi Yosef, the son of Rabbi Bun, said, it is true that a kosher fish does not swim together with non-kosher fish, but that is except for when the kosher fish is preying on the non-kosher fish. Like you want to eat it.
No. So basically, il explique quoi? Il dit attention, c'est sûr que les poissons pas cachères ne nagent pas avec les poissons cachères quand il s'agit de courants d'eau vive. Mais il peut y avoir des, comment on dit ça en français, il peut y avoir des exceptions. Et dit, première exception, c'est quand le poisson cachère veut, t'as dit manger, c'est ça?
Oui, le poisson cachère, il essaie de chasser le poisson.
Voilà. C'est quand le poisson cachère essaye de chasser le poisson pas cachère. So my first question, première question. What happens if a kosher fish eats a non-kosher fish? Is it still kosher? Il est toujours cachère? Let's keep the question open. But this the Gemara is taking this place. It's not for a joke. Ken.
The Gemara discusses a species of fish that has two subspecies, one kosher and one not. Shmuel said, now this shafisa fish, regarding which it is difficult to tell by appearance whether it is of the kosher or non-kosher variety. One can determine its status by placing it inside its outer covering. If it secreted a liquid and attached itself to the covering, it is permitted. But if not, it is forbidden.
Il dit, il y a des poissons qu'il est difficile de discerner s'ils sont réellement cachères ou pas. Et pour ça, enfin, juste à l'apparence, juste à la vue. Pour ça, il y a des techniques. Pour ça, il y a des techniques. Et c'est quoi les techniques? C'est qu'il va être dans une logique où on va l'attacher, on va le mettre dans un sachet, et si il sécrète du liquide, en étant attaché lui-même, il est permis. Et si pas, le liquide n'est pas permis. What's the connection? What's the link? You see all the knowledge you have to have in order to know if a fish is kosher or not. C'est la logique qu'il faut avoir pour ça si la poisson est cachère ou pas. Ken.
The previous Mishnah prohibited the minced taris of an idolater, and our Mishnah permits taris that is not minced. The Gemara cits a baraita that clarifies this distinction. What qualifies as taris that is not minced? Any taris where the head and the spines of the fish remain intact.
Continue.
The Gemara relates an incident where tourists were permitted on account of extended head and spine. Rabbi Lazar said in the name of Rabbi Hanina, there was an incident involving a sheep of the household of Rabbi that had in it more than 300 barrels of taris acquired from an idolater. And Rabbi examined all of the barrels, and he did not find any barrel where the head and spines of the fish remained extant except for one, and he permitted all the barrels on the basis of that one barrel.
Continue.
The Gemara analyzes Rabbi's lenient ruling. Rabbi Yaakov bar Ara said, Rabbi Asi argued, it is not logical that rather than permitting all the barrels that specific barrel where the head and spine remain extant should be permitted, and all the rest of the barrel should be prohibited. Rather, it must be that Rabbi permitted the other barrels through a mere pretext. The Gemara cites other instances in which the Rabbi employed such pretext.
Donc, il parle maintenant d'une espèce de poisson qu'on appelle le taris. Donc, il dit il y a un incident là-bas qui est relaté par Rabbi Lazar et par Rabbi Hanina. Il parle un jour qu'il y avait tout un stock de ce poisson-là qu'on appelle le taris qui était arrivé, et par une vérification accentuée, il a décidé, Rabbi Hanina, que tout ce poisson-là était caché. Il dit, comment il a fait pour savoir que c'était permis? C'est des bouts de poisson. Si c'est des bouts de poisson, comment tu sais que le poisson était caché à la base? Tu as juste un bout, tu ne sais pas s'il y avait des écailles, s'il y avait des... Comment tu fais? Ken? Yes. Oui.
The Zevita River was used sinfully. It was worshipped by idolaters. Rabbi Haggai inquired of Rabbi Bar Zabda whether the river's waters are thus forbidden for benefit as an object of idolatrous worship. Rabbi Bar Zabda replied to him, public property, such as river belonging to the public, cannot become prohibited, and are told it can be argued that in this case, this is an insufficient reason to permit the water. We nevertheless permit the river through a pretext. Another instance in which, okay.
So what's happened now? He's talking about a jump. Now he saute. He's talking about the water himself, the river himself. Il parle de la rivière elle-même. So meaning if the river is used, si la rivière est utilisée comme étant un lieu d'idolâtrie, les poissons dedans ne pourraient pas être permis.
C'est ce prétexte qui parle avant.
Oui. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? What is the story of you see the kashrut of the fishes? It's not so easy. La kashrut des poissons, c'est pas si sûr, c'est pas si facile. Parler des écailles et des nageoires, c'est vraiment quitter à l'ef. Tu veux les quitter à l'ef. Which sea? Quelle rivière? Où c'était pêché? Quelle était la logique d'avancer de ces poissons-là? What are the logic of our life? Are they eating non-kosher fish? C'est des poissons pas cachers. Let's take more information. Prenons plus d'informations.
Another instance in which a pretext was employed. Rabbi Yaakov bar Zabdi said, Rabbi Yitzchak asked, now, these letters of divorce are not the non-Jewish names, Gaius and Lucas, written in them as the name of the witness, and yet you say that they are valid? Why? They should be invalidated due to the concern that non-Jewish witness signed the divorce document. And the answer given to him was that we render this divorce document valid through the mere pretext that the witness are in fact Jews with non-Jewish names. C'est le même prétexte du jour.
C'est quoi? Explique-nous.
C'est comme quand il avait dit. C'était un mariage, le rabbin avait dit non, parce que la grand-mère, elle surtout, elle parlait yiddish. Alors, elle est juive.
Donc, toi, tu acceptes cette assertion de la Gemara ou pas?
Non, je ne sais pas si j'accepte pas pour l'instant, je dis juste que c'est ça un prétexte, c'est de c'est qu'il trouve un prétexte. C'est-à-dire, comme pour les poissons. Donc, il a trouvé dans un tonneau des poissons cachers. Donc, il dit, bon, on présume que tous les autres sont cachers. C'est un peu un plat tout plat. C'est un plat qui va valider tout le plat.
Donc, est-ce qu'on a les critères du prêtre qui va être toutes les classes dans ces éléments-là?
Dans le baril de poisson, on a un baril qui valide, enfin, que en tout cas, ce rabbin-là, il a pensé que c'était validable. Dans le cas de la rivière, c'est le fait qu'elle apparaît, qu'elle soit. On permet la rivière parce que bon, c'est tout le monde, même si elle est déjà plus désert. Le divorce, c'est le dire que là, en fait, c'était plus le monde n'était pas le même.
Bonsoir, Rabbi Ishai, vas-y, frère.
Est-ce que le fait de porter un nom ça enlève
Rabbi Ishai is asking if you wear a name which is not Jew, does it remove your jewelry? What do you think?
What did you say about that?
Rabbi Ishai, repeat for you.
I asked if a Jew have a non-Jew name.
Yeah.
Does it take off his Judaism?
Can you see that's your name from the people? A Jewish name?
No, if a Jewish
person?
have a non-Jewish name.
Okay.
Can you consider that he is no longer in the class Israel? It's connected to the place because here we have a case in the Gemara says that but there is a market where two guys are aiding witnesses, but they have a non-Jewish name. So there are some market according to the name, and one rabbi says that because they have those names which are not Jew, we can also, it's not a big deal. We can count them as witnesses. But if the Gemara bring that problem, it means that there is machloket.
There's a halakha that a Jew does not keep Shabbat, he will become witness. Yes. So now, regarding the name, why does he not have a Jewish name? Because a Jewish name, the otiyot of the name is from the cloud. It's from the cloud of all the Hebrew letters. If he does not have that name, who knows him? That's my opinion. Who knows him? Because when we look at the
to Rabbi Yishai's question, I would say no. It doesn't remove a person's Jewish status. Firstly, the first reason I would say that because it doesn't really. It's not a proof that a person. It's not an indication that the person is not shomer Torah or mitzvot necessarily. That's one. The second of all, we have chachamim through which we received our masochet who had non-Jewish names like Rabbi and Tignos ish Socho, Rabbi Tarfon. We also even know that Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanus' father was called Horkanus, which is also a good name. You have Onkelos Hager. That's another Chacham with a non-Jewish name. And I would think that if it was a problem, they would have made sure to identify by Jewish names instead of keeping those non-Jewish ones.
So the question is, what the connection between the name of a non-Jewish with a Jewish with a non-Jewish name, the Dagim, the reasons where the Dagim are, and also if the fish are eating over non-kosher fish. That's the connection, and we are in Yerushalmi Avodah Zarah. Can you answer? C'est quoi le lien? Dans Yerushalmi Avodah Zarah, pourquoi tu parles de tout ça? So,
that's why we bless the kids like fish.
I want your kid to be a fish.
No, like we say like fish.
You want your kid to be like a fish. You see like your fish, not a permanent. Or you see like fish.
Their blessing it's that they would be like yourself, they're like fish.
Where it's written. The blessing, or it's Yosef, or it's Yaakov say, or Moshe. So what Yaakov say, like you have to be like fish?
Say, was always before the debate, and the women that were going out of the debate. And then the rabbi said that you don't be afraid of the right. He said no, because of Joseph. They are blessed that the right hand touches the like fish. So that the fish, all the food, they are in the deep.
You say you want to be connected to them, or you want to use one aspect of them?
Yes, one aspect. The aspect that they are underwater. Let's say we are also like water.
So we are not fish.
No, we're not fish.
Is that what does it mean? Why we connect to fish in Avodah Zarah now? Let's take more information. I thought we were going to see the secret behind it. Yeah. Yes. Avi? Having the demonstration, right?
Having demonstrated that at times the rabbis would use pretexts to justify leniency, the Gemara concludes, and so too here. It was through a mere pretext that Rebbe permitted the entire shipload of taris on the basis of finding intact heads and spines in one of the barrels.
Let's stop here. So what did we found? I don't know for you, but nothing is clear. Moi, je viens de trouver clair. We have many information, beaucoup d'informations. And at the end of the day, we still don't know what the Gemara wants us to understand about kosher fish, behavior, kosher fish, characteristic, kosher fish, locally place of life, and why that? To understand what's happened, we have to take Midrash Talpiot. Pour comprendre ce qui se passe, on doit prendre Midrash Talpiot. Je vous envoie la photo, send the picture. And we're going to try now to remember and to see all the details that the Gemara gave to us. On va essayer de se souvenir des détails que la Gemara nous a donnés. So I share with you.
No. Please, no. I have got the phone. We have a heat screen.
Dans le Midrash Talpiot, ici, on the daf même, dans la partie, dans la daf même, 440. On the right side on the bottom, côté droit en bas. Il dit, Be'inyan adagim. But let's talk about the fish. Parlons des poissons. C'est Sefer Sha'ar Shamayim, it's written in this book, c'est écrit dans ce book. Adagim yesh lahem chush ashma vechush areach. He say you have to know that the fish, they have senses. Which one? Sure. Listening, they can hear, and they can smell.
Needless to say, see or eat.
Sur le dagim, ils ont quoi? Ils ont an ear and reach, can smell. So how do you smell in water? Comment tu sens dans l'eau? J'ai l'impression que l'odorat, c'est de l'air.
Yeah,
À partir du moment où ça devient solide, comment
but
je peux
water
sentir?
has both oxygen and hydrogen.
Justement, ils prennent l'oxygène avec leur bronchite. C'est pour ça qu'ils prennent l'eau, le bronchite, et après ça fait des bulles.
Comment tu sens? Les molécules, sans la molécule. Let's see. Yeah. Donc il dit, ils ont what they have, they can listen, hear, and they can smell. Basically, say there are only two senses. Ils n'ont pas le toucher. They don't have the touching. They don't have the taste. And they don't have the see. A fish don't see.
Yes.
Just tell to us that they are upper the inner, so they see more than everybody.
Right.
Hey, so Avishai, so maybe we talk about listening, seeing what you listen. Let's go slowly. So they say they have two senses. Ils ont deux sens. L'écoute et l'odorat. Uksatam, so c'est among all these fish, some of them, certains minadagim, certains d'entre eux, nizunim me efrochem. What is effroi? No, effroi.
Like a baby bird would be in the frog. So if it's fish, like the baby fish that just hatched.
So some of them eat their own babies.
Oh.
Certains d'eux, ils mangent leur propre bébé.
Mm.
So what is this? It seems to be a whole ecosystem. C'est un écosystème.
We're talking about only fish with fell and skin. Giving out the scales and fins, right?
You give details that the text don't give. I'll take the information about, let the tzaddik talk. Let him say what he wants to say. Donc il dit, il y en a qui mangent leur propre enfant. Chez Yirtzu Leolid Acherim. Why? When they want to give birth to other one. Quand ils veulent donner naissance à d'autres personnes. Rabbi Shimon, you still a fish? I did already the fish. You still have fish.
Les enfants de Yosef, voilà.
Là, je suis un Ben Yosef, je ne suis pas un fish.
Comme les poissons.
Je ne suis pas un fish.
Ils sont
Je ne suis pas un filet au fish.
Right. When I hear this, I don't say fish.
C'est un aspect, c'est dans l'eau. Comme
De quel aspect? Pour le moment, c'est des esprits qui te plaisent, ça?
C'est pas bizarre. J'ai jamais compris ça.
When I hear this, I don't hear fish. As I'm listening, I'm like, there's a behavior in men that's like this. There's a behavior, and I'd say it's like that behavior of people like very close to for me to remember, but I feel like as we keep going, I could define it.
בעזרת השם, let's see. And some of them, some הולכים בשר לבד. Oh, you have fish eating meat?
Yeah, piranhas. Piranhas. They walk in game and they, yeah, piranhas. Yeah.
So it's not so clear fish, hein?
No, piranhas. You know.
Donc il y a des poissons qui mangent de la viande. Uksatam nezunim me'asavim. Some of them, they are feed only with herbs. Certains sont seulement d'herbes. Uksatam mizevel vetit. And some of them, they are eating what? All the west, all the wasted things which are in the depth of the seas. Maintenant, ils destroy les détritus. Les détritus de ce qu'il y a au fond de la mer. So what is the now we start something interesting. What is a fish? I thought we were, I was saying myself, what is a fish? Fish like this, that. Now in 29, it just gave me a whole system. Let's continue. See like this. And teeth, but you know what is teeth? Teeth, c'est du mortier, it's a mortar. So you like you eat like clay, tu manges de l'argile, tu manges des mortiers. And you're a fish.
So can we say those type of fish or the fish that has mercury in them or something?
Mercury? Why mercury?
All of this stuff.
C'est dans la constitution, on dit que les saumons ont un taux de mercure.
C'est pas, on parle de là, on est dans plus global, on n'est pas encore dans une catégorie précise. Donc, ça tient les onimes, mais chelat gufam levad. Oh, c'est quoi chelat gufam?
They eat no, their own flesh, their own flesh.
Dirt, c'est des poissons.
Let me read it.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils font? What does mean is that you have some fish, they go and they eat from the west skin of the other fish. So they go, they eat. They go, they eat. Exactly. Like Sarabishai, calling the fish who cleans. Poisson nettoyeur.
Comment il savait?
Comment il savait? Notre Torah.
Je savais pas comme aujourd'hui, n'est-ce pas, qu'on va sous l'eau. Il allait en vision.
Ouais.
Il se connecte au poisson.
C'est vrai.
Les coraux, qu'est-ce qu'ils te manquent?
Avec tous les coraux, tu peux tout voir.
Peut-être Kadosh. Après, il dit, Vezeu amin en raoui le'achlam. Vous voyez? You see, this is the Simane Kashrut. It means all these things, you don't eat them. This is all the details that you have to know about the fish which is kosher or not. It's not about the et avoir des comportements comme ça. There's also midot in fish.
Yeah.
C'est des midot dans les poissons.
Piranha.
Non,
forget piranha.
Mais parce que comme on dit, ils ont des écailles, des nageoires, donc tu pourrais dire, c'est cachère.
parce que moi je dis pas ça.
So it's like the rhetorical, like the prerequisite, you have to have this, but there's details to it. Like
No, the thing is like this. Alacha minagamiki. What are the kosher fish? Fish which are, first of all, scale and fence, and also who don't do that things. Mean I want a fish who have all the 5 senses.
Right.
So what does the fish eat? Because you see that Even the some will eat only the grass in the sea.
Voilà.
Good question. So he said the fish who eat the grass in the sea, they don't eat them. But this is the food of a fish.
De quoi, j'ai pas compris.
Quoi la nourriture des poissons? Parce qu'il dit des poissons qui mangent de l'air, il ne faut pas les manger. Ce n'est pas cachère.
Ah.
Hein?
Un fish that eat another fish.
Il faut qu'il mange un petit poisson.
Rabbi Benjamin gives something. So maybe we have to eat only fish or eat a smaller fish, another fish.
Yeah.
Kosher one. Because if it's not kosher, I have a question. Plus petit. Donc on est dans la même logique. Manger plus petit que soi. So you understand the logic, you have to eat smaller than you. Or less powerful than you. That's it. אין מהם מן המין הזה אין ראוי לאכילה וקצצם ניזונים מן החול. Some of them they are feed from the sand. D'autres qui sont nourris du sable. ויש מהם שאוכלים יחידים ויש מהם שאוכלים בחבורה. Some of them they eat alone, like Rabbi Shimon, Birkat Avodah eat alone. Some of them they eat in groups, they shares. It's not finished. Let's take information.
It's like the same thing with birds, the Hasidah and stuff.
ויש מן הדגים שיחיה זמן רב. You have fish will live long days. רב אחר צאתו מן המים לרוב לחוטו. So some fish, they can have a long life even if they are out of the water because of the wetness of their body. Il y a des poissons qui vivent longtemps en dehors de l'eau grâce à l'humidité qu'ils ont sur leur corps. You have fish, you fish them, tu les pêches, you put them in, you can one half is moving. Why? It's thanks to the wetness of his body. Let's give all the details. Look, regardez. Il dit, Veyoter berouar tzfoni. Aval berouar d'arôme lo yichye. He said, if you are in a place where the wind of the north is bursting, s'il y a une place où le vent du nord il souffle, he will live longer, il vivra plus longtemps. But if it's the roi of the south, d'arôme, like we say in the afternoon, he will not survive. What is darom? Chokmah? What darom? C'est la chokmah? What chokmah? What does it mean? So a question. A fish who is out of the water and live a long life, or live long minutes, is it a kind of transformation to kosher fish to non-kosher fish? Does it mean that the real shchita has to be done once that bring you out of the water? Like we study, you teach it last time. Comme on a étudié. Michel a enseigné que normalement, le fait de sortir de l'eau, c'est ça la shrita du poisson. Là, il n'est pas encore mort. C'est-à-dire quoi? Tu es en train de te nourrir d'un environnement qui n'est pas le tien. Donc, est-ce que tu es caché comme tu l'aurais dû l'être si je t'avais pêché directement? Ou bien parce que tu respires encore dans un élément qui n'est pas le tien, la shrita n'est pas faite. Do you know if the fish you eat, they are alive after being fished?
Si tu ne manges pas,
en fait, chez soi-même, comment on peut
On ne peut pas savoir. Merci, Rabbi Yishai. If we didn't fish the fish by ourselves, on n'a pas pêché pour soi-même, you cannot know if that fish was still moving 5 minutes, 10 minutes after it was out of the waters, because the shrita is not well done. Hey, Afe. I mean, we are in the morning, not the afternoon. It's afternoon. Oh, okay, I understand. You have the ashpa of the afternoon. Yes, okay, what is the secret of the mermaids? What's the secret of the sirènes alors? They are half men, half fish out of the water, they still live. What does it mean? If you're a fish being living out of the water, you have the man that's like, you're not official. You see?
Moi, j'ai ça
C'est
sur
peut-être
vidéo
féminin
maintenant.
d'ailleurs. ça va, c'est les enfants filles de l'eau. Ça s'appelle.
Non, moi j'ai une là sur le là.
Look, voilà ce qu'il dit. Il dit, Benyan toldotam ou Benyan ze shemeotam ametilim betim em yavo ou karov laaretz ve'anekeva tatil betza ve'azachar ratz acharehem ve'yashliach zar'o alehem ve'kol habetim asher yig'a azera'a alehem yatsa mehem efroche dagim. He said, you know all this kind of fish that make babies? C'est comment ces genres de poissons font des bébés? The female fish goes out of the water, put eggs. And what happened? The masculine one goes out of the water and sends seeds. Donc là, le poisson féminin sort de l'eau, met des œufs, elle rentre. Le poisson masculin, il sort, il envoie un zéra sur les œufs, et les œufs deviennent quoi? Pas des poissons. Efrochim.
Des chenilles.
Des poussins.
Ok, des poussins, c'est des poussins de quoi? C'est ça.
Dehors de l'eau. Ils ont plus de poissons.
No, I learned that in marine biology. There's something, they don't just evolve, start as they evolve.
Akiva told you, it's efroir, it's a chick. Why talk about chick when we are in the dog, in the dag? Comment tu racontes des poussins quand on est dans les poissons?
Birds that were the same thing.
Oh, it's in fire. He said, look, fish and birds have been created the same day. Both of them come from what? Shamayim.
Oh,
If you look here, no. If you see in the previous page, I didn't send you the picture. It's like this. It says something very chacham, not on. And see what it said on the top of the pages. It's something. Yeah, it's another place. That's another place. We're talking about when they are created, they came from Shamayim. Là? Kemigla Yofi, Beivra Elohim et Tatanim. Amar Ivra, les filles chez Amayim, Lo Aya Baem, Koar, TV. Voilà. Il dit, why? How do we know that the fish were created from Shamayim? Because the water, they were not enough powerful to handle the creation of the big fish called Tanim. Ils viennent d'en haut.
Whoa, back up a little bit. Whoa, back up.
This Gemara is dangerous.
Back up.
If you don't know all this, you will read it, it's boring. But look now. But talk about something serious. Si vous ne lisez pas tout ça, la Gemara qu'on a dit, c'est ennuyeux. Ok, on a compris, baril de poisson, machin, en dehors, dans l'eau, ils nagent ensemble, pas ensemble, ils mangent qui. Mais attends, regardez, look what he said. He said, Efrore dagim. So he said, no, it's Efrore dagim. Now he said, no, c'est des poussins poissons. Okay, what do you say dagim? What do you not say dagim tanim?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Parce que les poissons et les chicks viennent de l'œuf. Les deux tombent les œufs. Donc à ce moment-là, on peut parler de chicks, c'est aussi des œufs.
Il a fait. Donc il dit comme, because both of them, they need to bring out eggs. So if everything which comes out from the eggs can be called chicks.
Yes, like yeah. But what I don't understand is that the female goes out and lay eggs, and then the man goes out and lay seeds. No, but the poulet, for example, before the rooster lays seeds, and then that seeds develop the eggs, and then the chicks lay the eggs. So how come this one first and that one after? Like there's an inverse.
C'est à l'intérieur du poulet. C'est pas l'intérieur.
C'est l'inverse. C'est ça, je dis. So does it make sense?
I don't know. I just take information. Don't try to conclude anything. When you discuss something new, get it till the end.
Are we putting chicken and fish together?
You're right, because you know that we will be bothered. C'est ce qui ça va nous embêter. You put effroché. So even if I can conclude now, it's the baby fish. So, like many times say, Toldotem, Yaldem, Akatan Shinaim. Why you say effroché? Yes. No. Après, il dit, the Sha'ar, il fait de ça. C'est only some of them will become effroré fish, dagim. All the rest will be wasted. Tout ce qui, certains vont devenir donc des poissons, des poussins poissons, on va dire. Et le reste va être perdu. Mais l'oya soupri will not be a fruit. Mais yesh mine dagim, shemitavrim, ki sha'ar mine ba'ale chayim. Oh. בלא לעניק, וזה ניכר בדלפי לעין יותר מכולם. אתה dis quoi? Ah ouais, bref. Donc il dit, il y a des sortes de poissons, you have kind of fish, which are mixed, sont mélangés, mitavrim, like all the rest of the animal range. What does it mean? Mitavrim. They are mixed. Why is saying that? Where is this at? Because we know that the fish are supposed to be pure lineage. On sait que les poissons sont censés être d'un mélange pur, d'une union pure, right? They are the only animal which didn't mix and didn't make immorality in time of the flood. C'est ça l'animal qui n'a pas fait de moralité, qui s'est pas mélangé en temps du flood. Mais non, il y en a qui sont mélangés. So they are not pure. Like the other animals, the fish, which we are sinning. בעלי חיים בלא ביצים, כשאר בעלי חיים בלא ביצים, ויצאו הדגים מתוכם. So he said, how do you recognize that kind of fish who are mixed and mixed up, like in the time of flood? Comment tu reconnais ces poissons-là qui sont trompés à l'époque du déluge? They don't give birth through eggs. Ils ont les gestations. Exactement. So every kind of fish who have pregnancy and give birth through pregnancy, like a mammifer, they are not in the holy and pure lineage. Ils sont pas de la lignée pure.
Because I heard somewhere that I think the dolphin could multiply with a man. Yeah.
They try to put. I saw that they try to put male embryo in dolphin or something like this. There is crazy people who do those things in the world parce que les dauphins ils sont très âgés justement. C'est pas des poissons. Les mammifères ils ont tout un langage, ils se comprennent les uns les autres.
The question is, did they become mammals? Because
no question on Bizarre. Let's just take information. Get the sex and put it
Pose it. Have a dog that time every Monday you can't eat. My dear. You have been on Amazon?
Oh yeah. I'm guessing you have. So you've seen stuff.
No.
Mais il y a soit dagim mitocham, les poissons vont sortir d'eux. Yesh lahem shadaim, but they have
Titties.
mammals. Ils ont des seins. Hey, when the saints lose time, not lose time, giving information.
It's a proof of it because now we know that all the mammals in the sea, they are not fish and they are not pure. They mix in the.
They are immoral.
This is the question I wanted to ask.
Don't go and swim with the dolphin.
No, no. Like,
They
is
will
it?
fall in love with you.
Ouais, ouais, il y a des comportements bizarres de dauphins.
Yeah. That's true. But no,
Ça,
this
c'est delphin.
yeah.
Ça arrache à Kevin.
Oh my
Tu peux les nommer. See what happened now. Ici, ויש מנהיגה, יש להם שדיים, להעניק, to give, to breastfeed, pour allaiter. וזה ניכר בדלפי. זה גם דלפי. לעין יותר מכולם, because this is the, c'est l'exemple parfait, le dauphin. Ok. Après, il dit, ויש דג אחד, there's one fish, il y a un poisson, שיש לו אבן בראשו, he has a stone in his head, il a une pierre dans sa tête.
Ça peut être la glande finale ou ça peut être le narval. C'est un poisson qui a une corne. C'est un espèce de dauphin qui a une corne.
Ah, let's see.
Ça peut être-
There's a hammer shark too. Remember?
Non, lui il a une corne.
J'ai jamais vu ça. Can we see a picture? This is too interesting. This is like.
יש לו אבן בראשו, והקור יזיק לו מאוד, and he cannot afford the coldness. Il ne peut pas supporter le froid.
C'est ça que la glande qui est ça, quand ça vient calcifier, tout ça, ça devient froid.
froid.
Oh my God!
שיתקרר האבן מיד ייפול וימות. Parce que quand la pierre devient froide, il va tomber et mourir. He will fall and die. How do you fall? You're a fish in the water. There's no falling in the water. There's no gravity. Il n'y a pas de gravité. What is to fall and die?
Ça me fait penser à l'action de Amalek.
Ouais. Fait. Il y a un lien. Mais c'est qui ce poisson? Oui, this is drag. C'est quoi c'est qui ce poisson? And the poisson falling, if you fall, you're standing. Si tu tombes, c'est que t'es debout. If you're not standing, what is for the meaning of falling? Si t'es pas debout, comment tu tombes?
What fish walks, stand basically, that's the question. Beside une sirène. À part d'une sirène et tout ça.
Adam Bilial. You say it's Adam Bilial. Rabbi Yannah said it's Adam Bilial. Let's see. And he said, Vayamut, he will die. ויש מיני דגים שהגשמים יזיק להם. You have also kind of fish that cannot afford the rain. Ils ne peuvent pas supporter la pluie.
This is not a fish we're talking about.
יזיק, כשהגשמים יזיק להם כי ישמו עיניהם, because basically the rain will make them blind. La pluie va les rendre aveugles. וקצת מן הדגים יהיו שמנים מרוח צפוני. And you have another kind of fish which will become fat from the wind of the north. Ils vont devenir gros et gras à cause du vent du nord. וקצתה מרוח דרומי. Some of them is from the wind of the south. ויש מין אחד, there's one species of dog, מן הדגים, שישמן אחר על עוד כוכב. It says some dagim will become fat when כוכב, which is Mercury, will go up. Quand Mercure va monter. It's a salmon. There's a lot of mercury, right?
Ouais, le ton. Tu peux descendre un peu le texte, s'il te plaît, parce qu'on a dépassé. Merci.
בעת ההיא ימצאו חולאים בלחם ויקעב. So I say, when this happens, they will be sick. When Mercury goes up, they will be sick and their weakness will be particular. But it will be painful for them. ויקעב וירקד וידלג מרוב הכאב. So what we do, it will start to move and to jump because of the pain, like the salmon. You fish them, bring them out, you see that he start to check, to dance. We call it rikoud, des raquettes. Il commence à danser and il va commencer à sauter. Dilouk, il fait des sauts, he's jumping because of the pain. ויש מן דגים שמתעדנין בחום ויצאו לחוץ ליבשה להתרחם. ויש מהם שיקבעו בראשם אחר עלות כוכב, כי הכוכב ההוא יבואו כאב וכובד בראשם, ויש מהם שיקרה להם חולה גדול. So basically you have a kind of fish who are very sensitive with the action of mercury. Let's take 5 minutes.
This is like, wow, I need to digest this. You like black people over there? You like black people over there? Huh? Oh, God.
And he said, פעם אחת, one day, נמצא דג אחד בעירנו. One fish was in our city. Hey, so you see fish in the city?
No.
בעירנו. והיה כרייר מור, יוצא ממנו אור בתנועתו. And when he was walking, he was smelling more. What is more? It's besamim.
Yeah.
Mort, tia, je voulais être merde. Il sentait le mort. What is mort? C'est la myrte? Non. La myrte.
They even have that name, that's name. I thought it was an English name only.
Yeah, myrte. C'est la myrte. Myrte. Mire. And when he was walking, he had the smell of mire. Il avait l'odeur de la myrte. ומין אדלפה יש לו כנאה וריח. הוא מתנשם ויש לו נקב גדול על מצחו להוציא בו המים. והדלפין כשהוא ישן נשמע קולו לפי שהוא מתנשם בחזק. So it's basically, it was a kind of dolphin. It was big and he had a big hole on his forehead. Il avait un grand trou sur son front. And from this hole, it was bringing out waters. Il sortait de l'eau. Comme ils font ça, c'est les orques qui font ça, non?
Oui.
Et ils sortent de l'eau. Les baleines aussi.
Ah, il est venu au port de la ville. Il est dans une ville avec de l'eau.
Oh, il est entré dans la ville.
Il est dans la ville.
Et dans la ville, il paye. Il est dans la ville.
Yeah,
Il tape il casse une démarche.
We found them in the
Après, il dit, also you have to know that when the dolphin is sleeping, he makes noise, he's sneezing, he ronfle. Why? Because his breathing is very loud, very heavy. Parce que sa respiration est très lourde. ויש מין אחד מן הדגים שהוא גדול ביום אחד. There's another kind of fish, it's only great and big one day. וכתב בספר בעלי חיים, in the book בעלי חיים, כי רחל תתבער מדג. What? Hey, it's written in one book that Rachel get pregnant from a fish.
She was pregnant with a fish or from
Me,
from
dog.
a fish.
What does it mean?
Ah, ça commence à être chaud, hein?
We're gonna stop soon.
Il n'y a pas
It said me dog.
He says,
ויש מין אחד מן הדגים שלא תלעד נקבה. You have a kind of fish who will not give birth to females, only give birth to masculine fish. כי אם אחר שתמרח תבנאה בכל הים. אוקיי, move forward. וחיי הדגים ארוכים יותר משאר בעלי החיים, ואמרו על דלפי, שהוא חי 130 שנה. Je parle des dauphins qui vivent 130 ans. The dolphins live 130. What is that? Cal.
oh my God.
That is Cal. Gematria, ça, merde.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Ah, ça va bien entendre. C'est, hey, t'as un billiard. You felt it, you sense it.
Oh my God.
What makes sense, you know, this kind of fish and all that stuff.
I told you, I feel like they were talking about people.
וניסו כן כי קרטאו זנטאו לסימן, ויש דג אחד שנקרא מחזיק הספינה, שיש לו כוח בטבעה לעצות אותם, בעבורה עליו ועושים רפואה מבשרו לאהבה לשנאה. So another kind of fish basically is enough powerful to stop big boats. And he said this kind of fish, when you take his skin, you can use it to be loved or to create hatred.
What? Rabbi, come on. I'm too sober for this.
I'm gonna stop here, continue next week. I will explain to you what is behind. What is behind? It's telling you that the Gemara is not talking about fish only. Elle ne parle pas seulement de poisson. Elle est en train de te donner des informations sur ce qu'est le poisson, dans son essence. It's telling you information about what is the fish is in its essence. So when people tell you that fish are tzadikim, like I tried to explain to you many times, don't consider yourself like fish. Because fish, if it's food, it's connected to kafakela. Ne vous considérez pas comme des poissons. Parce que la notion de poisson, quand c'est relié à la dimension de kafakela, c'est pas bon signe. So basically said, first point, the kashrut of the fish, it's more detailed than what you think. La kashrut du poisson, c'est pas aussi simple qu'on le pensait. Il y a plein de critères. There's a lot of criteria inside. You have to be careful. So I will say, if you are makpid, very strict about meat, kalva chomer. You have to be makpid about fish. Si vous êtes très makpid à propos du poisson, de la viande, kalva chomer, vous devez faire attention à propos du poisson. Because what's happened seems to be that in the fish, you, how can I say it without il y a plus de présence humaine dans le poisson qu'on ne le pense. Les Indiens.
La région, they don't fish.
Because they know that the fish is not good in a place.
They say that you need a mouse, you know.
Yeah. So I will say basically, because the fish seems to be on the top of the animal range. It seems to me that is the closer one to the man. That's why the scientists they think that sometimes the men start from a fish.
What?
La théorie d'évolution
C'est ça qui pense que l'homme a commencé par le poisson. So if you think that, you know, it's telling you, there's fish, men, fish or fishmen. I don't know how to say in English. It is a poisson.
He was not completely nuts. Bon-moi.
C'est des gars qui étaient au Groenland, très profondément sous la mer. Regarde ce qu'ils ont. Pas une baleine. Ils ont vu, et c'est toute une théorie parce que les hommes là-bas, les pêcheurs au Groenland, des fois sur les poissons, ils trouvent des espèces d'outils. Ce n'est pas des humains qui ont fait. Et ils disent qu'il y a des qui vivent là-bas.
He said it. There is a human being, life under sea. And all this, what called fish, is just the visible expression of that human being, life under sea. But this is for the afternoon. Baruch Adonai Olam, amen ve'amen.
C'est exactement ça. Comme
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi.
Tודה, fils de Rabbi Eleazar. Eat your fish, enjoy it.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Ouais.
Je vais dire à Binyamin, il faut que je trouve pas.